We're rats. We're the rats. We pray at night. We stalk at night. We're the rats.
Hello and welcome to SOVL. SOVL is a turn-based strategy battle game, very reminiscent of Warhammer Fantasy Battles or the Old World, anyone who's familiar with the tabletop. If not, think medieval and Renaissance style armies engaging one another in combat, but there are kind of mystical elements spliced between, so you get your sword and shield and archer guys, but on the flank there's a giant, and the other flank there's a troll, and there's a wizard in the middle throwing fireballs around, stuff like that. If you are familiar with that, you'll understand the game mechanics immediately. If not, you'll pick it up very quickly. It's a fairly straightforward game. In the outset of the campaign, I'll explain the kind of base mechanics. That'll just be for the first part and really just the first battle. So for veterans, of course, you'll be very familiar with that. You don't have to worry about it. But if you've never seen it before, I'll kind of go over the base stuff, what we're dealing with. As you've seen from the title and thumbnail, we'll be playing as the Ratkin Chieftain of the Ratkin Clans. So a swarm faction. We're going to be aiming to play this campaign at the kind of themes that we'll be having a huge number of rats. So we went with the big monsters last time. So this is going to be just covering the field with rats. We want all the rats all the time. Okay, we're playing on difficulty 6, harder bosses. So as you go through the campaigns, as you beat them, you get harder and harder difficulties. 6 is good because 5 is the crucial one you want to try and aim for, which allows enemies to rally. When they break in combat, they can return to combat. I'll explain what that means when we get there. But this is the good bit, and then 7 is the kind of special one at the end. That's how we'll be playing through it. Okay, for our starting unit. Now the Ratkin Chieftain we're playing with starts with a unit of Ratkin conscripts. So we can either take another one of Ratkin conscripts or legionaries or slingers. I'm going to avoid the legionaries because they're, I'm using air quotations with my fingers here, elite rats. I don't want elite rats, I want more rats. More rats. More. So either conscripts or slingers. Between the two, I think the slingers are probably the better choice. There wouldn't be a lot of value in having another conscript around. So if you're playing to min-max and you understand what the good or bad choice is, take the slingers. But for this campaign, we're going to take the conscripts because I think it's fun. And our second choice, again, of those three, the Ratkin Monstrosity on the right there is definitely, I'd argue, the best one. But we played with that last time, so let's try something else. We're going to take the Skulkers or the Flamers. And we need like just some sort of ranged output. Otherwise, it's an entirely melee army that's very fragile and not exactly fast as they're not cavalry. So I'll take some Flamers to support us. That's how we'll be playing it. Act 1. So we get our battle map here, kind of explain how this works. We're going to start on the left, and our objective is to move left to right through these stopping points to get to the boss here on the far side. So this is the Act 1 boss. There's of course an Act 2, as the implication may give away. So as we move through, we encounter battles in which our army faces an enemy army. If you win, you get gold and experience for your guys at the potential cost of sustaining casualties. Random events, which are hard to describe until we get to them. It could be a forgotten tomb, which you can risk sending your guys in to pull gold out, or a holy lake that bestows a blessing upon you, or a random monster group you encounter and have to slay, things like that. So we'll go through a couple of those for the campaign for a bit of variety. So we get gold out of these battles. Well, what do we want gold for? So we can use them in these shops, these anvil signs or armories. In here you can buy new units or upgrade the ones you already have, so get as much gold as possible for these. Elite battles are regular battles but harder in exchange for more gold. The flat sum of gold you get is doubled, which is quite nice if you're in good stead and you want to take a bunch of hard fights. And the last but not least, these campsites, these tents, you don't get gold off of them like you would fights. There's no enemy to fight or anything. Rather, you attend a campsite, everyone in your army immediately gets a round of healing, and then you're given a choice between either a point of experience or an additional round of healing. Typically you don't want to be going to these if you're doing well because they don't generate any gold. And you can get healing off of the fights a little bit if you're doing, like, you can take a bit of damage. So only take the campsites if your army's really getting hammered and you need some badly needed replenishment. So our objective then is to move left to right while taking as many fights as possible to amass gold and experience. So if you could take some elite battles now, that would be good. So the first 3 are identical no matter how we do it, so it makes no difference. We might as well just take either or. And after that we can probably want to head up here because this will give us 1, 2, you go around, and then an elite. 1, 2, 3, 4 standard battles and elite. We can come this way, we can do 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 battles, but 2 of them are elites, so probably down this way. It means we miss out on that battle, but it's the same number and I get more gold for these, so probably head this way, and depending on how badly hammered we are, we can go either rest or take a random event. So that seems like a good mix, so we'll probably start down here. Here's our army view. You can see our magnificent little rattings. So Morscat Darklaw. I'm going to immediately rename you because that's a rubbish name. As you're a rat, I'm going to name you Inky. Anyone knows what I'm referencing there? Good on you. Do you like an old cartoon reference? So the Inky, the skittering rodents, which are much more reasonable. His name lives on as a legacy because we can see more scats in his unit there. So rat conscripts, very basic shield and spear unit. I'll go over what these stats mean later, and then our 2 flamers in support. So that's what we're going to go into our first battle with. Roaming brigands. So the entirety of the game is predicated upon the roll of 6-sided dice. So I rolled a dice and the enemy AI rolled a dice. I rolled a 1, they rolled a 4. That means they're going first. Going first means when after we deploy, they'll get to move their unit first, and then I can move one of mine, and then we'll alternate until we've done all our units, and then the next turn will happen, so on and so forth. So for deployment, move your guys around and deploy them where you want. The little trick you've got, it doesn't really advertise this, but if you can move them around. If you hold the shift key while you do this, you can spin them, deploy them anywhere you want, but for our purposes, just head on is perfectly fine. Now against roaming brigands, there'll probably be an annoying unit of archers or something tucked away at the back. I'm more than happy for the archers to shoot my conscripts because they're there to soak fire. I really don't want them hitting my flamers because they're very fragile. Defense 2, only 2 wounds, and they're where most of my damage output is going to be coming from. So I'm going to put the conscripts into such a position that they're in front of my flamers and acting like a bit of a meat shield. So like so. If there are archers, I'd almost certainly assume they'll be over here. So like this is probably a good mech just in case they're on that side. I want a flamer and a conscript on each of them. Yep, they're there. So we get some Imperial archers and some Imperial swordsmen. They're going first and they're targeting the conscripts, which is fine. The rats are here to die en masse. Well done. Charge up as fast as you can. No need to dilly-dally. Same with you. That will still be the primary target, so we can start bothering the next turn. My flamers here, if you hover over a unit, you can see what their range is. You can either hover or you can hold the shift key. So the XC and the C key are the 2 keys you use. XC key does this. You can see your charge range and the enemy's charge range with C. If you hold shift and use X and C, you can see your range stuff range and the enemy's range stuff range. So long bows on these archers, of course, massively outranging my poor flamers, but mine do more damage when we get there in recompense. So that'll do for now. Now I just get to move forward as I want. Now I'm going to move you in the way of these swordsmen. I'm not going to engage them because there's not really any point in doing so. And I think, yes, if we go all the way up, we can catch those swordsmen and start shooting them. So our flamers are in range. Great, we can take a shot. So if you hover over a flamer, what does it do? Range 12. That's what that looks like. D3 power 5. What that means is for each flamer you have, and we have 2 of them, you get to roll a dice with effectively 3 sides on it. So imagine a triangle. So each one will get a result of a 1, 2, or 3. You add them together, and that'll be the number of hits you get. So let's see how that goes. So we roll a 2 and a 2, we got 4 hits. And then this roll happens. Well, what was that? That was the range save. So after you hit an enemy, they're given an opportunity to try and save the damage. The power of my attack was 5. Flames are power 5. The defense of the enemy was 4. Because power was superior to enemy defense, they only got to save on a 5+, meaning if only a 5 or a 6 is counted as a success and will save them from the damage incoming. 1s, 2s, and 3s all fail. So 2, 2, 2, 5, dead, 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 saved. So they lose 3 of 4, like so. We're in the charge phase now. There's nothing I want to charge, so we'll skip that. These archers going to shoot my poor conscripts again. There's nothing I can do about it. So they're doing the same there. Well, shooting with normal units like this is slightly different. What they're doing is they're taking the number 7 and subtracting their skill from it to determine the hit roll. So 7 minus 3 is 4. So they need 4+ to hit. Keen-eyed among you will have noticed that it says 5+ here. The reason for that is because they're incurring a -1 to hit penalty due to it being long range. So they're beyond double, like the half of their maximum range. So they're getting, so 4+ becomes 5+. So 6, 6, 6, and 6 hit me. 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s do not. I have a defensive 3. They have a power of 3. I save on 4+ because defense and power are equal. Rolled a 3, a 2, 6, a 2. So 3 fails and a pass. 3 more dead rats. That's fine. They're there to get hammered. So you can then move right up into their archers and start hitting them now because we want to get rid of them as fast as possible. It also allows my flamers here to reach and start hurting them as well. 4 again. 4 is the average roll when rolling 2d3, so that's pretty good. Killing 4 archers. And over here, these swordsmen have menacingly walked up towards me, but no problem. One of the big advantages that these flame units have over traditional artillery is that with other artillery pieces, so imagine cannons and ballistae and things like that, they would have to choose between either moving or shooting. But because we're a kind of mobile, well, I was about to say man-operated weapon team, rat-operated weapon team, we can shoot and then cunningly scurry away out of their range. So as long as I'm outside of this blue zone at the end of the phase, they can't charge me, so I'm safe. And you can just stand there, because there's no need to get engaged with them, we can just cook them to death. Boiled in their armour, or roasted. So we've managed to get up here. If we have a look at the stats here, my Ratkins and the archers have exactly equal statistics, except they have better discipline. But there's more of me, so if I charge in, I should just win. Alternatively, I could stand here, allow them to shoot me, and then hit them with the flamers again. It amounts to exactly the same, because the longbow shots and their combat in melee are identical, so I think I'll just send the conscripts in and have them kill them. Be overwhelmed by rats. That leaves you free to come over here and start hitting. Well, you can't reach them, so just in case this doesn't go our way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come around so you can start hitting them next turn. Or go there shooting for turn. They've moved already, which is a terrible idea because it allows me to freely outposition them. So we've gotten out of the way, we can hold the C key to see what they can see. They can't reach us. I'm free to continue roasting. Ooh, cooked human, delicious. Out of the way here. No need to get engaged in combat unnecessarily. Now for our first round of melee. So, different from shooting, when you're trying to hit things in melee, this is where the statistics come in, you'll compare your skill against the enemy skill, because if you're engaged in physical combat, the relative skill of the two combatants decides how easy or difficult it is for the hit. So skill 3 versus skill 3 is exactly equal, so we have a 4 plus to hit. A 4, 5 or 6 will land a hit, a 1, 2 or 3 will fail. Exactly 50-50, it represents there being equal skill between the combatants. You have a fair chance of hitting. So, in number of attacks, we have 1 attack each, and there's 9 of us for 9 attacks and 4 plus. I hit 8 times, amazing round of hitting, and then they get their save, which is again power versus defense. So where power 3, the enemy's defense 3, power and defense are equal, they have a 4 plus chance to save. Again, when stats are equal like that, you get a 4 plus typically because it's an equal chance. So we rolled well above average, which is great, and then the enemy rolled exactly average for their save. They had 8 saves to make, they made 4 and failed 4, so 4 archers were nibbled to death by little conscripts. They hit me back with their 6 attacks. There's no initiative or who gets to go first or second or anything like that. Everybody always gets to fight everybody. So the ones I killed still get to hit me, those 6 guys. So 6 attacks, they only hit me twice, they rolled below average, and then equal power to defense. I get 4 up saves. I lose 2 more conscripts, fine. We won combat by 2 because I killed 4 and lost 2. They roll a discipline check. So it's a break test. So you take your discipline and subtract it by how much you lost by. The discipline 7, they lost by 2. They have to roll a 5 or less. They rolled a 4 and 2 dice, which is very good on them. That was unlikely. So brave archers held on there. Their reward will be certainly being beaten to death in the next round of combat. So I don't necessarily know how much of a good idea that was. There's a fine line between bravery and stupidity, gents, and you may have crossed it. I'll just move these here. You can't shoot into an engaged combat. You might risk hitting your own guys. Which with rats, surely you'd think, well, just cook through them. It'll be worth it. Here we go again. 4 hits this time. Killing the last 2. They hit me back once. Killing another conscript. I don't think they passed a single save there. It's a bit annoying. The enemy has now sustained so much damage that they're routing this turn. So regardless of what they do, they're going to run away. So no need to charge here. The only thing I'm going to do is cook them to see if I can kill them all. 3. There's 1 lone swordsman left to tell of the tale. These vicious bipedal rat men ran over the hill and ate all of our archers. It was terrible. End screen, so everyone gets a point of experience. You get a little bit of healing for guys who took some damage, and then you get flat gold. And for every one of your units, you get a choice between either resting or taking extra loot, so you can either heal them or take some extra gold. This unit, of course, took a bit of a kicking, so I'll have my guys back to full strength, fantastic. And everyone else is fine as they are. The starting unit starts with less guys in it because of the difficulty we're playing on, but 14 plus the character is perfectly fine. Pinky's Regim's go, so I'll just take as much gold as I can. Yeah, we're in exactly the same position we were, so let's have a peek at what this random event is. Holy Gift. Okay, so we've immediately come across that Holy Lake I was talking about. So pick any unit, and on that unit you get to ask for divine protection. You could rest and restore your guys to full strength, get your models back, but that's an egregiously bad choice. You almost always want to take ask for protection. Unit re-rolls failed damage saves. So any damage that would be coming onto you, so if you took a hit and it would go through and you failed your save, you're allowed to re-roll the dice to try and pass the save again. It represents an enormous defensive increase. It's amazing. So we don't really have any big elite fancy units to put it on, so I guess we'll just put it on one of these 2 conscripts, and between the 2 of them, yeah, the one with the character in it, I guess, just make it hard as nails. So congratulations, we are now holy rats. And it happened immediately. Well, more accurately, we've been bestowed divine protection. Which deity exactly is supporting the Ratkin conscripts is unclear. They're going first. If you know any deities that would be partial towards rats, please do let me know, because I can't think of one off the top of my head. Just going to deploy in a normal fashion. We're up against the shambling host, or undead. Ooh, zombies, and a fast unit of direwolves. So this is the priority concern for us. I'm going to move you out of the way here. They're going to march these forward, which is fine. I can ignore them for a turn. That's what I can do instead. They're going to come charging forward here. So I obviously don't want to engage. I want to just roast them to death. It's much more effectively. So I'm not going to be able to do it with this one. They're not going to get there. So I'll have you come forward and start barbecuing zombies. There are 3 less zombies in the world. Here they come. Okay, it's going to be hard to kind of trick them into allowing me to... Their range is beyond my shooting range, so I need to get them to fail to charge me while also allowing my guys to reach them and blast them. So if I'm going to intentionally put you down here so I can sort of draw them over. Can't go that far, I'm afraid. I just have to do it like this. Okay, I've managed to get out of range there, that's good. And then you're going to walk over here, kind of separate them somewhat. So if they do turn and face him, I might be able to sneak this Flamer Squadron into their side without being hit. That would be very convenient for me. We'll get as far as we can into it to give us as much movement as we get, but without, of course, touching them, because the walls would tear any of these apart. They're fragile, but they're very high in damage output, so you desperately don't want to engage them in combat if you can avoid it. They're going first, which again is fine. We'll delay them a turn by doing this. Good, I know where they've all landed now, so continue to cook the zombies. Yeah, it's power 5 against defense 3 for the zombies, so they can only save on 5+. Very effective. And now I know they are. I can skip through here. Fantastic. I can get straight past their zone into a point of safety and start killing the wolves. 5 hits, fantastic start. We kill all but one of them in one shot, which is good because I might not be able to escape with this conscript unit this turn. Ooh, I don't think that quite cuts it. If I angle myself a bit tighter though. Now we're safe. Fantastic. Good, and I can kill them next turn with the flamers and never have to touch them. No, I'm not going to charge any of these. Well, they're obviously not going to reach me, so... 5, 6, 6. No, zombies aren't having any of my rubbish this turn. They've quite obviously locked onto my poor flamers, but I'm not worried because I can, 1, kill this wolf. Just really did the 1 wound, but that's good enough. And then move our way to safety by doing this. Perfect. You can start becoming relevant again. Get up here. Obviously we don't need you to be charged for no reason. So the reason this is kind of easy to position around is that all of my rat units are swift. They come with an inherent +1 movement. Kind of recompense for them being relatively low tier otherwise. The zombies, these undead, are reanimators. They have -1 movement, so the base movement of infantry is 8. I'm up to 9 and they're down to 7. They're just really easy to outposition and run around. That's kind of annoying, but certain I can do something about it. Done. They're going to come there. You start dealing with those. And because I might not be able to escape with those that turn, what I'll do to make sure I'm definitely safe, move you to safety. I can put this one to their back, so I can rear charge those, and I can just sort of ignore them. Even if I'm in their zone, it doesn't matter because I can pin them in place with this unit. It doesn't in this case. I'm still fast enough to escape, but I'll take the charge anyway because should be able to defeat 5 zombies for crying out loud. In terms of what's on the menu, I definitely think we'll have to forego cooked zombie. That's not going to be good for you. Alright, done. And then, yeah, you can just do the same. Menacingly appear in their back arc. They're still there. Here goes combat. So zombies are one of the few things my Ratkin conscripts actually outclass in a fight. We have better skill. So this is the one of the few opportunities I'm going to be able to show this off. When you have superior skill to the enemy, you get to hit on 3+, or at 3, 4, 5, or 6 will successfully hit. So it represents you having better skill. You have a 66% chance or better odds than not of actually hitting them. So 10 attacks, because you can only fight in 2 ranks unless you're a spear and shield unit, and in which case you get to fight in 3. We, however, aren't allowed to fight in 3 because we charge. You only get that extra rank when you're receiving a charge or not charging, because it's a stagnant combat. So imagine it, the shield and spear guys are a defensive unit by design. They stand there, they hold in place, and as enemies charge into them, they hit them with their spears and hide behind a shield wall. Think like a phalanx sort of thing, which is great, but obviously we've used them aggressively and run in. So only the 10 attacks. We hit 6 times, and we have... Oh, okay, they managed to survive, annoyingly. They don't get to hit me back because I rear-arc them, so they can't hit me. There is an zombie left. Fine. Kind of hoping to kill them all. I mean, I guess I could take this now. There's no reason to delay. Show off what Pinky can do in a fight. Skip the rest of the phase. Pinky does have an ability, Deadly Strike, where once per battle his melee attacks deal double damage. Unfortunately, don't be deceived, it doesn't double all of his damage, he does rather against multi-wound stuff specifically. So like these flamers, for instance, they have 2 wounds each. If you encounter cavalry or monsters that have lots of wounds, any hits that he would put through would do double wounds. It doesn't spread across single wound infantry though, so it will just be 1, 2, 3. So it's worthless on this unit. The flamers can't shoot into these, so ignore it. Right, is this one zombie? Now I get all 15 attacks here because we're not charging anymore. So pretty sure we can kill 1 zombie with 15 attacks. We killed him 4 times. He missed. Great, didn't lose any conscripts. It was a good idea in the end. And then the enemy is already routing this turn. So when you see this in the top right, it means regardless of what happens over the course of this turn, at the end of this turn, the fight's over and you're going to win. So you can kind of play around that. Pinky gets to go. He's got 3 attacks with better skill, and I was better power. He's power 5, but they're all double 6, so he does nothing. Oh well. And then his accompanying other ambushes, do fantastically. Now undead don't run away from combat. If they lose, they just lose an extra 1 to 3 guys. It represents them being fearless. They're undead. They're zombies. They're skeletons and stuff. They don't really do the whole being afraid thing. So no casualties, fantastic. We have enough experience with some of our guys to start leveling, so the conscripts have leveled. Interesting. Okay, so this is the Ratkin's kind of special move here, their random mutations. When you level up, normally you get things like your replenishment and the +1 skill are normal things, so you'd use this if you wanted more guys whenever you wanted to heal, unless you're getting royally screwed over and you're taking horrendous casualties. You want to avoid that because your replenishment's already pretty good, so you should be fine. Skill is an extra skill. You go from 3 to 4, so more likely to hit things in combat, harder to be hit in combat, just more potent. And then the random mutation. It's hard to describe what this does because there are so many of them, but unlike any other upgrade in the game, it comes with an inherent positive and negative. So you might get wings sprout on all of your guys in the unit, but it decreases your defense or things like that. So it's a trade-off where usually it can be cool. For now, I'm going to take the skill because its guaranteed value doesn't come at any cost. I'll use the random mutations as we get later into the campaign. I've got a bit more strength, but if I get unlucky and I get a mutation that's more negative than positive because of a specific unit type, so there are some mutations that are really good for ranged units and some that are good for melee units. If you get the wrong one on the wrong guy, you might actually end up being worse than you are already. So we'll just take the skill and play it safe for now. And then our 2 flamers have leveled up, so the Demented Fire Starters and Mad Burners. I didn't know those are pretty good names. You've leveled, so +1 unit size or reroll 1s. So obviously the +1 unit size is great. We go from 2 to 3. That means every time we shoot, we're rolling 3 dice. So that's a massive increase. Or reroll 1s. Whenever you roll a 1 on those 3 dice, you get to reroll it for a better attempt. I think more often than not, the extra guy would be better damage overall, and it means if I take casualties, they're still viable because there'll still be 2 left. So I'm going to take the extra unit size and go up to 3. More rats is always good. And then here, exact same proposition. We'll try the mutations later, but I want the more guaranteed value now. Gold is nice. You can start generating a lot of gold later, but they're my primary damage dealer, so I'm going to buff them up right now while I have the chance. These 2 are healthy. Do I want to forego the gold here and just take the extra guys? I think so. I'm going to go up to 3 and 3. Incredible power spike for our flamers there. Leaving me with okay-ish gold. Usually I like to have 3 fights before I get to this point, but this will have to do. We're of course going up here because we want to aim for this fantastic elite battle line here. So we'll go this armory and see what we can buy. Right, more flamers. It's going to turn into a flamethrower kind of run. That's going to be interesting. I could buy... I can't get... Oh, that's not a bad... I could buy some legionaries who are discounted for my lord. I think that's a good idea. So it's the highest number unit, so we stick to our as many rats as possible. And I've already got 2 flamers, so a third one is starting to get a bit too skewed in that direction. So I'll take this, which is cool. Take our legionaries. So some quote elite rats. So they've got a bit heavy armor and some halberds, which is nice. And then we have 111 left for upgrades. Now what I was eyeing was a potent mixture for my flamethrower. So it increases their power by 1. They'll go from power 5 to power 6. That's a really good breakpoint because a lot of enemy stuff, when it's trying to shoot at you, or rather when you're shooting at it, there'll be either defense 3, in which case if I'm power 6, we haven't seen this come up yet, but if your power is 3 or more greater than the enemy unit, it reduces their save again all the way down to 6+, so you can hit them really hard. If we encounter elite stuff, it's defense 5, so heavy cavalry kind of stuff like that, I'll still be wounding them on 5+ because I'm power 6, so it's in general a really good number to get to. Other things you could consider, banners of mists and banners of swiftness are cool for these. Make them harder to hit at range and make them move faster. I'm not really having any difficulty with maneuvering around. We're doing fine from that standpoint, so I think I'll just go with raw damage for now. We can, potent mixture. I can pick up stuff like this later, and then upgrades for our chieftain. Again, that can come later. Continue. Okay, so there's our new standing force. We have Ratkin Legionaries, the Stormfangs, which I'm going to slightly rename to Pinky Stormfangs. How fitting. And then we've got our upgraded flamers and the conscripts to serve as fodder. Good. I like the symmetry of that. Doesn't it look pretty? So let's see what that can do as we can go into a fight. Ooh. Okay. Dark Gift is an interesting one. Pick a unit. I send them in, and well, I can show you. I don't have to roll it. So you get a number of dice. So there are 10 guys in this unit. The Stormfangs here. You get to roll a dice for each of them. Your objective is to try and get to 3 6s rolled. So if you get to there, you get the benefit, and I'll show you what the benefit is if we manage to get it. For any 1s you roll, however, a guy dies from the squad. So we probably want to try it on the Stormfangs because they're the most elite thing I've got. So getting the buff on them would be good. Alternatively, you could try it on one of these, the conscripts, and turn them into like a potent, somehow turn them into a genuine melee force. No, I think we'd want it on these, so let's give it a go. Can I pull this off with Stormfangs? Cross fingers, everyone, don't roll too many 1s. Okay, immediately roll 2 1s and no 6s. 1 6 there, I need 3 to get it. Okay, 3 1s and 2 6s. 4 1s, no. There you go, we finally get it. Dark Gift, +1 power and attack for the squad. So it's a massive damage increase. I'll lose 4 of them for now, but long term that's going to be really good for my somewhat now beleaguered Stormfangs. But if you have a look at them, they're now 2 attacks each, not 1, which is great. And they go up to power of 4. Power of 4 in these isn't super useful because they have halberds. The halberd special property is that whenever hitting something, that thing can never get a save of better than 4+. So they're like anti-armor, anti-big monster thing. The defensive properties of the enemy don't matter. They're saving on at best 4+. So getting more power there usually doesn't help, but the extra attacks are just great. Because that's the one thing. They were stuck at 1 each, which is pretty terrible. Okay, so we know what our plan is. We're going to go through the hard path here and take as many elite battles as we can to generate that sweet, sweet gold against Von Platen. I'm going first because a 2 beats a 1. Spectacularly high rolling there. Now they'll probably have something annoying shooting us in the back. I don't really have any means of stopping it. The best I can do, I think, is use my Divine Protection conscripts that reroll their saves to serve as a meat shield. I'll have you kind of hide around here. Otherwise, yeah, you can just sort of be over here to serve as a distraction. This is where the majority of my killing power will be. Just kind of tucked behind there. And hopefully there's not too much coming this way. Right, we've got halberdiers, captain with swordsmen, handgunners, they're going to be the problem, and some Imperial Knights who are kind of charging towards us. So let's start having you move around the long way to flank around. Okay, they're going to immediately move to intercept me. Right, if this unit came forward, they would probably target you because you're the closest. I hope so. That's the most resilient thing I've got. So let's just start moving you. If I move this forward now, that's a bit of a nuisance because then they're going to target me and I'm quite fragile. But I'm defense 4, they're power 4, so 4 up saves. Yeah, I'm going to start taking casualties quickly, so I'm just going to have to stand here for a turn. Good, they've now moved. They're targeting my conscript, so I get a 5 up save, but I get to re-roll it. And okay, so I still lose 2 more. Good. I now know where they are though, so I should be able to move. I was going to move that into the flank. I can't do it. I need this blasted Imperial Knight unit to move so I can start shooting at it. So yeah, I'm just going to waste time with these conscripts. Of course, it's the very last thing they do, so I can't outposition it. Really annoying. Now it finally comes forward. Great. So the bad news is that you're going to get caught in a hit no matter what I do. What I might do to be cheeky is if I have you come forward and start burning them. 7 this time already, great. And because we're power 6, not power 5, they get saved for 5+. So all of those 4s that they would have managed to save on previously disappear. They don't get the benefit of them. But I'm just going to stand here because I think I can show off the. Just get a bit closer and then turn around. If I'm lucky, I can show off one of the mechanics if I just position this just right. Their turn, no problem. So they're going to charge me. I'm going to tell this unit to flee because I obviously can't win that fight, so I'm just going to run away. There are no combats otherwise. Okay. I was hoping I wasn't so close to the edge there I'd hold on, but no, my movement's a bit too good. I'll move you away. You're going to get shot again. I can't stop it. 5s, re-rolling. That Divine Blessing isn't helping us at all, it seems. But now the benefit of flee is that because they've come all the way over here, they can't move this turn. They're stuck, so it allows me to perfectly get around them here and get a nice flank into their rear arc. So if you want to tell if you're hitting an enemy's rear, flank or front, just hover over them, it'll show you the 4 facings. As long as the majority of your unit is within that arc, you're fine. So in fact I've overcompensated here, you could do that. I'm well within their back arc now, you can do this and make sure I see them. Like so. They come forward, which I don't care because I'm just going to soften this unit up for when these conscripts go in. There you go, a few less of them. Only 3 left now. So if I just had an extra turn of shooting with these, I'd be able to kill them all, but alas, I did not. So I want you to hit that unit if you can, and I obviously don't want to be caught by this pesky unit. So I can reach them just about. Is it a side charge? It would be. So as long as that counts, and I'm not entirely sure it does, let's try and be a bit more precise. Don't go that far. 6.5. Up a bit. Okay, I can definitely see them. I can't be reached by this unit, so I'll be able to flank these annoying halberdiers. Happy with that. So I'm doing nothing about these handgunners. I'm basically ignoring them, which is obviously a risk. Let's flank the halberdiers now. I'm going to charge you in the back. I could just stand there and shoot them again, but I want to prevent myself from being shot unnecessarily. Have you come over here and start working over these swordsmen. They didn't shoot anything. Now the reason they did that is because they're still locked onto these conscripts, so they're just wasting their time. Like, they can't shoot into it, so they just stand there staring at them. I'll waste the turn by using this ability, so I don't use it on anything, which is good. This is perfect for me. Turn, shoot, and then move away from these wretched handgunners. 5 less swordsmen. Whee! And then we're clear. And over here, just in case this bit annoying brick of halberdiers holds on, if they stay in combat, what will happen is they'll turn and face. So as long as I'm stood here, I can then rear charge them. Okay, so here we go. Pinky is going to swing. He's got better skill, so hit on 3s with 3 attacks. Hits twice, and he's got better power to their defense, so 5 up saves, it kills 1. The halberdiers get 2 attacks each, so 2, 4, 6, 8, but it only counts for the front guys, so the back guys only get 1 each. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So with better skill again, 6 hits, and then better power. So Dark Gift is actually being useful here. They hit all, so the benefit to hitting them in the flank is that we get a point of combat resolution, which is good flanks, but it also means that they only get to fight me with the guys touching me in base contact. So only 3 guys, they hit all 3 times, which is a bit annoying, but I saved all 3 times. So an above average roll met by an above average roll. We won combat by quite a bit. They break. And then over here, can I defeat these knights before they turn around and start murdering me? 5 hits, pretty good. They've got good armor though, but they roll a bad save, so that should hopefully be enough to kick them out. It is. Straight off the field they go. There are no charges. I'm going to leave that because I want to get the halberdiers over to that unit. If it rallies, then I can just put the Ratkin out. They're going to shoot my conscripts again. No damage this time. Okay, let's have you move first. I'm just going to have you beeline straight towards them. You're clearly locked onto my flamers now, which is fine because I can easily outposition you every turn. This swordsman unit is never going to get to achieve anything apart from being cooked over and over again. Get to there. They do rally, so I have to do something about that. I'll have you get out of the way. Annoyingly, I'm not going to be able to reach their rear because this blasted wood is in the way, so instead I'll just have to be satisfied with a side charge. Make sure they can't see me as well. Yeah, like that. And then you, I don't know, swing around. There's not really anything you can do apart from just continually moving away from that annoying handgun unit. Don't want to engage it in combat, except unless it's them. In the side, please. Yep. Nothing to do here, here, or here. Oh, they've changed target. They're going to start killing my halberdiers now. That's really annoying. I kind of wanted them to be healthier. Okay, can I get to them this turn? I can, I think. Depends if I can technically be considered as seeing them. I think I am. Problem is it would be a front charge unless I twist it a bit. So it now comes down to I need to be able to draw line of sight, and annoyingly this terrain is blocking line of sight, so I don't really know if that counts. In fact, I'm pretty certain it doesn't, to be honest. So I can get to there and definitely see them, but that's a front arc. What's the cheekiest way I can kind of play this? So their side arc is here, I'm in it now. I just move up a touch until I see them not really here. Yeah, they're positioned perfectly where they're just not in the woods, but good enough to avoid me being able to reach them. So yeah, I'm going to have to take it on the front, I'm afraid. You got me there, handgunners, well done. And then this is a bit easier. And then you come around there. But, well, I don't actually ignore them and start coming up here because they'll never be able to deal with that. Here's our only fight. I do hope I break them this turn because if they turn and hit me, it's going to suck. I have better skill because we're elite conscripts now. So we kill 7 of them. That's incredible. That's a good roll for me and a terrible roll for them at a cost of 1 rat. You can't roll a 1 on 2 dice no matter how hard you try, so they've definitely had it. Way to go, skittering runes. Take them on. Can't reach them there, and none of this is going to happen. They've turned to face my conscripts here. Okay. Well, if you'd rather be shot in the back by fire than the front, I don't mind. Everyone is dead except the captain. Funny. They rally again, so I don't mind. I'm just going to recharge them then. Even better than last time. Here, this makes no difference, but I'm going to use the ability because, one, there's no multi-wound stuff. We've killed all the cavalry. Can I defeat 10 handgunners? 2 hits from Pinky, killing 1 of them. 2 more casualties from the unit. I take 2. I win by 1 just. If they hold here, they might actually eventually beat me to death. Yeah, I think they will. They're elite rats, but I use that term very, very loosely. They're still only rats. That's my only charge. Okay, so let's give Von Platt an extremely hot bath here. There you go. 3 wounds. She has 3 wounds. She's dead. Deleted. And there's nothing else for me to really do except try and reach this unit to lend them a hand. Pinky again hits all 3 times, kills another 2, and these 2 friends kill another 2. They failed to hit me a single time. Okay, I guess I do win. I mean, we masterfully blocked and parried all of the incoming attacks because we're super elite rats. We're already routing this turn, so even if they turn around, we don't care. They don't. They run off the field. Victory. The halberdiers took the worst of it, but we can heal that. Okay, so you get Pinky is leveled up for the first time, so let's see what we can do. Extra skill, skill 4 to 5. I don't really need it right now. Discipline. They have low discipline inherently, rats, but you want to be playing the game in such a way that you're not losing combat and needing to roll discipline checks. So just avoid that at all costs. It's basically the worst upgrade. Or an extra Recruiter 1, new recruited units gain an additional level. So when you buy a unit from the shop, they immediately get a level and you can give them a point of experience. That's fantastic because SOVL massively encourages you to have as much XP on units as you can. They benefit hugely from the levels in terms of their effectiveness in combat. So yeah, I'm just going to go with the recruiter. It's an all swarm army, so helping these rats be a bit more competent is going to help us. This unit of Ratkin conscripts is leveled. They can have more skill. They can have even more of them, which I suppose is kind of what they're doing. But I'm not going to be able to reach 19 even if I heal them now anyway, so I'll take the skill for now and pick that up later. So yeah, look, 6 of 7. There's now 17 of them. I still can't get there. You I want to heal because you're a bit beleaguered, and everyone else max XP. Ah, good point. The other benefit to running units away, such as so I fled one of the flamers, is that when they flee off the field, you don't lose them. So you notice they're still 3 out of 3. Whereas if I stood there and took the fight, the knights would have completely slaughtered them and I'd be at 0. Well, I'd get 1 back, so I'd be at 1. But yeah, this is now at max HP and I get to take the gold. The majority of the gold, of course, came from the fact it was an elite, so I got 100% extra on the regular amount that I would usually net from doing so. Now, there are so many conscripts in this squad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch them. So you can do 5 by 5, you can do 6 across, or you can do 7 across. 7 is a bit much even at their side, so 6 across there I think is a nice unit. This could go across to 6 as well, but with Spearmen you get the benefit of 3 ranks, so I think that's a good compromise, and eventually I'll fix you, but not right now. So let's play one more. We'll have this last battle here against Orc Raiders. So less irritating stuff shooting at us this time. Me first. Okay. Now they will likely have some ultra fast stuff that we'll have to deal with, so I don't want to do... You're the Divine Protection Brick with 17 of them, so genuinely unmovable at this point. There'll be something charging us down the flank here, so if you want to kind of get there and shoot it and then run away, that would be good. Like so. You in the middle to anchor, and then you here and you sort of there. Okay, we got... Oh, there's a fast unit of War Riders there. I assumed as much. And then big unit of Orc Warriors, small Orc Warriors, Orc Brutes, which are heavy Orcs, so don't engage them directly if you can avoid it. I have to go first, that's fine. I'm just going to stall out units until they have to come forward, and then I can shoot them. So you just start moving this way. The benefit of having 1 extra unit over your enemy is that I can just keep dancing around them. I can move that to there safely because there's no way... Oh, I've made a fool of myself. I moved into combat range. Fine, I'll just have to run away and then rally. Didn't have to go quite that far forward. Never mind. They moved. Let's move you next. Good, the boars have now moved. That's perfectly timed. Can I shoot them and still get away? Not really, because of this annoying wood, so I'm going to have to spend a turn out positioning them. Yeah, this wood is really stupid and how in the way it is, so just get to there. You're safe, yeah, nothing to shoot this turn. Oh, they come, don't worry about that, and you're just going to back off. Oh, it's really hard for you to escape if I do that next turn, hang on. Probably want to aim to run this way actually, it's where all the distance is to get us to safety. Like so, are we out? Yes we are, that's safe. Don't fight War Riders head on, they're much tougher than we are. So because I mispositioned them, I'm going to have to flee this unit. And hopefully I'll bring them back. Let's get to there, I guess I can flank them easily enough now. especially with them going the wrong way. Yeah, I just put you. They haven't moved. Oh, okay. So they can't move because they charged and didn't reach me. So what I'll do, cross your fingers, I can rally. When I rally, I have to roll a discipline check, and they've got bad discipline, so I might have just lost the unit. Wrong level. They're going to flee the field, unfortunately. Well. Oh, hello. They've gotten very close. Okay. Let's start roasting them now, then. It's not a good time to get a bad roll. Kill 2 of them, which is good. It makes our position a bit easier. This blasted wood here is going to make it difficult to escape, but I can at least get them away this way. And I might be able to turn you straight around and squeeze out this direction. No, I'm just shy. You've got to be kidding. If I go any closer, I get caught. Oh, come on. I just went 0.6. I've got to be joking. I'm safe. There you go. I managed it. Whew. Desperately avoided combat there. Did we want it? So I could flank this small unit of orc warriors, and you're probably powerful enough to defeat them, so that's good. And you just distract these brutes because you're not going to want to fight them head on. Even with all your numbers and divine protection, you'll still lose a fight against that. Just little rats. Okay, let's flank these. Oh, again, another chance to try and rally these. Fantastic. One more try. Yes, they're back in the fight. Okay, that's a huge damage increase for me. Okay, this unit we can ignore just by doing this. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm so slow. I can't escape from this wood. The reason this is happening is because when you're in these woods, they halve your movement. So ordinarily, I'd have no problem getting away from this blasted orc unit, but as it stands, I'm trapped here. The best case scenario for me, I think, is I take the... I turn around, take the shot, and then flee, and then hope I don't... I'll probably run off the field, but it's better than being caught by 20 orc warriors, for crying out loud. Just do what damage you can while you can. Yeah, another 6. Now a single boar rider left, which is doable. Yeah, I can't escape this no matter how I pull it off, so just turn this way and try and get away. Okay, you're just going to stall, and I'm going to have you come out here to... What I could do alternatively is I could flank the unit of orc warriors. That would spare you, allow them to burn that one. I'd probably lose a load of conscripts to combat though, because I'm not going to break them. That's a terrible idea. Why would I do that, in fact? Yeah, I'll just have you move away from the brutes again. Now that they're back, I can use them to kill them. Okay, can Pinky and the cohort defeat the orc warriors? 1 hit, killing 1, and then his friends. 11 attacks because of the extra one from Dark Gift, killing 2 more. 2 attacks back because there's only 2 reaching us. They do nothing. You have to roll a 3 on 2 dice, which is extremely difficult. The orcs are... Their discipline is akin to ours, it's extremely low, but then they have much, much better stats, so that's how they get around it. I'm gonna... I guess I could just replenish the conscripts if I needed to. I could just give a load back on a heal, so... Yeah, okay, this is a melee run, let's chuck them in there. Show them who's boss, rats. You could recharge those, but it's a bit of a waste. I'd rather save them for something else. They turn and face. Meteor 3339. Take 5 wounds and die, you wretch. Let's start moving it out of this blasted wood. Okay, we know where they are now. Start working our way through these. Now they're defense 5, but because I brought potent mixture, I'm power 6, so all those 4s still fail. Yet they're not going to take many turns at all to kill those. Again, don't fight them head on, you'll lose. They're considerably stronger than you are. And then this unit, because I overwhelmingly assume that this isn't going to go my way, probably wants to head over here. Don't know if I can reach though, is the problem. It's better if I do it like that. The downside is if they hold combat, what they're going to do is they're going to turn and face, and their unit is going to move. It's 5 across, but 4 deep, so they'll stop there effectively, so I won't actually be able to catch them. This unit is 1 movement point too slow. Yeah, there's no way I can do this to actually get them there this turn, so just try that and hope for the best. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they'll break them with your elite skill here. So 10 attacks, 8 hits, fantastic, but they've got good defense, so you're going to get 3 casualties. 4 attacks back because there's 4 touching us, killing 3. We actually barely won, even with against that. Yeah, okay, you're going to get badly killed now. I can't reach them because they turn. Oh well. Unit to their back now. They fail to rally, so they'll keep going. I'm going to ignore them. Just move over to this side and continue the brute cooking. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 or 2 more turns of that and they're finished. There's not much for you to do because you're not going to be able to reach anything until a bit. And then let's have you... I'll start moving you towards this in case it becomes useful. Okay, let's see how much damage I take. 10 hits, fantastic hit roll, doing some nice damage, but they also hit nicely, doing more damage. So lose. I would actually want them to run away because it means they take less casualties. They do, excellent. That's a good outcome for me. It means they take less casualties, and when I charge this unit into their rear, which I'm considering if I even bother doing because I can just cook them to death. Oh yeah, go on. So when it means they don't get all of the combat resolution from killing these conscripts, which is going to mean if I can do a lot of damage here, they'll break and run away. Good hit, 7. The brutes are all gone. Fantastic. There's nothing else for anyone to do, just try and rally those. Yeah. Basically out of moves, just skip the rest of the phase, you don't need to see any of this. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. If you know a combat's kind of straightforward, you can hold the spacebar to do it quickly, so do this. He kills 2, the unit kills another 3, so I killed 5. They break because you have to roll double 1. Poor discipline and all, so I'm fairly consistent that they would break and run if you get a flank or rear on them, you've probably got them. Notwithstanding conscripts trying to break a huge block of orcs, that's probably a bit too much to ask for. Have them back, there you go, full strength basically. The legionaries are leveled. They can improve their unit size, have more of them, or mutate. If I have more of them, I'm going to take more rats. I just want more. Give me the full size. I suspect they're going to be taking huge amounts of casualties, so I'm just going to keep healing them like that. Everyone else is good enough to take the gold. Yeah, and I'll have another elite, which is, despite the healing, I'm actually going to have a lot of gold because I'm going through all these elite battles. But yeah, I think that's where we'll leave that there. I'm happy with that. We get our all rats all the time run, so as I go through the campaign, I'll try and pick up more. It could be slingers, but I'll stay away from the monsters and any more weapon teams. I'll try and stick to the rat kind of generic units, so you'll get as many of them as we can. I do hope you enjoyed that. If so, please do like and subscribe. The run will continue, and there's plenty of SOVL content available on the channel. If you have any ideas for thematic-based SOVL runs or what you'd like to see, by all means, please do drop a comment down in the comment section. I do take the time to stop and read them all, so if you leave something there, it will be seen. Or if you just want to chat with me and others, that's fine too. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.